ladies and gentlemen.
You got a minute? I need a diagnostic on a primary docking column.
Perfect timing on the announcement.
I'm on it.
Alright, so, g'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Battletech with Mags. We'll be continuing our, well, a little detour in the campaign. At this point, we're currently into the Western Territories, trying to chase down missions with House Marik, although we're going to be a little bit delayed after the last one, because the last mission, while we did manage to walk away with a new Highlander, which is nice, we took a bit of a beating. We've got quite a few mechs that are actually racked up here at the moment. So, what we're going to do, I think, let's check out the status in Mech Bay. We've still got the Annihilator up and running. Marauder is still doing fine. We've got a Battlemaster, we've got a Black Knight. We've got a couple of mechs here. We might find some lighter missions that we can run some of the lobies on and actually cycle out these mechs rather than spending the time to fix them all. Because it's going to take 17 days to get the core mechs up and running. The Hulk we're only repairing to sell. It did not do quite as well as we would have hoped. Also, a little side note too, if I make any odd noises while I'm on the stream tonight, or today, tonight, we're not doing night streams anymore, or not doing them as often. I'm going to be trying to do more during the day. But if I make any odd noises, like I'm in pain or grunting or anything, that is because somehow, and I have no friggin' idea how I've managed to do this, I've managed to yank all the muscles across my shoulders and up the back of my neck. I don't know what the hell I've done, but I haven't been in this much pain in quite some time. So, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Hey Will, how's it going, mate? Do this like Mech Warrior. I'm old school. Yes, this is the same. Battletech is the same universe as Mech Warrior. It is. This is essentially the original tabletop game that was, well, that Mech Warrior was spawned from, recreated in a digital form. So all the same mechs, same universe, same basic concepts, except you're commanding a lance of mechs, 4 mechs, and it's a turn-based strategy game based on the rules of the tabletop. So, what we're going to do, let's check and see what contracts we've got available at this time. So, Intelligence Agent, it's a recovery mission, 4 Skulls Polar. It's probably a little difficult for my B line of mechs. Destroy base, attack and defend, capture base. Thorn in the side. It's the only thing that makes me want to stay and just wait out the 17 days to get the A's up, because this is a 4.5 skull assassination mission. This is almost guaranteed to have a 100-tonner on the end of it. Yeah, I actually forgot about this, and I really can't afford to skip this mission. So we are going to advance time, and we're going to let this one run up so we get the 17 days to pass so our awesome is repaired, and then we're going to deploy on that mission. I still have the old tabletop models. Seems so long ago now. You mentioned making weird noises on stream. I do that most days. It's called old age. Yes, this is true. Unfortunately, this is, if it was an age thing, I'd be just suck it up, Mags, and deal with it. But it's unfortunately not in this case. I was doing some work around the house, some handyman stuff. I don't recall doing anything that would have pulled or torn or done anything major in the muscles. I didn't do a huge amount of heavy lifting, but I've done something. I can barely turn my head at the moment without, you know, nearly wanting to black out. It's not great. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. But if you've got the old school tabletop models, definitely keep those. Those are collectors now. The tabletop's made its way back. Catalyst Games is producing new models now based on the updated models. But if you've got, you know, tabletop models from, you know, going far back into the 90s or even into the 80s, those things are collector's pieces now. Most of them will be the old school 3D designs for the battle mechs. A lot of them have been upgraded now. You can't get them anymore. So yeah, cherish those.
I'll be right there.
So much Battletech stuff I used to have back in the day as well that I no longer have. I'm still somewhat ropeable over the fact that I lost all my trading cards. I used to have the trading card game.
Hey boss, we've just completed those upgrades.
Alright, well, if I'm correct, ship upgrades, that is the Argo now complete. So the Argo, our ship, is fully upgraded now. That is done. We don't have to spend any more money that way. So that's the finances that drain into that hole gone. We can now buy more mechs. Mech bays are all set up, and all mechs should now be repaired. Right. Now the big one here. Now the B model, that's our main one. Where is the second Highlander? Checking its fit. I know we built the fit at the end of the last stream, but I can't quite remember what we did to it. Right, 2 medium lasers in the arm, triple plus medium laser plus a single plus PPC, LRMs and SRMs. Yeah, still a bit of a mixed bag, still not super fond of that build. But it's a Highlander, so we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We might need to make some adjustments later. Big into Warhammer nowadays, but the old ones from the 90s I got and will keep them for retirement. Yeah, definitely don't get rid of those. Does the Mad Cat exist in this world? Yes. The Battletech, well, not in this game, but in this universe. The Battletech is the same universe as MechWarrior. So yes, the Mad Cat is a thing. But this is based at 3025. So this is about 25 years before the clan invasion. Well, 24. Clan invasion's at 3049, so this is a little bit prior to the clan invasion. So what you're seeing here is mainly Innosphere mechs and stuff that came out around the, well, there was either new mech produced at the end of the Third Succession War, prior to the start of the Fourth Succession War. Mainly Star League relics at this point. Mad 3R, what one is that one? That's the one I can think of for the AC-20. That's fine. We're not gonna, we'll just hit the repair on that. Alright, so we are going to go into contracts, select our contract. We are going to do Thorn in the Side. This is 4.5 skulls, assassination mission, polar, which is good for our heat loading, especially since we're taking the Marauder in, which is heavy on energy. And we are doing this against Marik smugglers, which isn't ideal. I didn't want to go against House Marik, but I can't ignore this high skull rating mission and an assassination mission as well. So we are going to want full salvage options on this one. So 3 pieces selected, 15 recovered. The money is basically irrelevant now. We don't have to care about it. And this is really going to piss off Marik, which I don't like, but I'm taking the mission anyway. Alright, so Hunter is driving the Highlander as per normal. Medusa and the Marauder. We'll leave Archangel in the Awesome. Now, we do have some options up here. I'm thinking we might actually bring the P variant Highlander out for Decker. Yeah, the P level Highlander variant for Decker over the Annihilator, just for the mobility option. And I'm pretty sure it's got extra armor on it too. 1,500, 1,004, yeah. Yeah, both the Highlanders are maxed out at the same armor. Excellent. Cool. So it should tank as well, even though it's definitely not going to have as much firepower as our SLDF variant.
Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
But yeah, if you're a really big fan of the Mad Cat, as close as you'll get in this one is the Marauder, which was the chassis that the clans built the Mad Cat on in the first place. Step outside our borders, causing an ongoing problem. Local government operations would like to cut the head off this particular snake with a targeted, limited, and deniable strike on their leader. Ideally, this will shut them down permanently. No mention of reinforcements or backup, but I will expect that there'll probably be a secondary lance that'll be coming in, because there normally always is.
Command interface initiated.
Right, so this is the area where the smugglers reportedly set up shop. Wind turbines in the snow. Cool, that'd be a pain in the ass to keep clean. Intel suggests hostile Marik units in this area. Be alert. Ooh. That looks like an Atlas. I may have finally found myself an Atlas. Once the target is down, head for the extraction point for a pickup.
Should have brought a coat.
I'm noticing a huge amount of heat sinks. I needed a lot when I ran the Thor in MechWarrior 3, but not that many. The tabletop rules run slightly differently, because you can run with less heat sinks when you're playing in MechWarrior and you're driving the mech directly yourself, because you can control your weapon cycling. Once you're playing on tabletop rules, however, it all comes down to, like, you can't control the cycling quite as accurately. You can't space them out. In a turn, you're going to fire X amount of weapons. The X amount of weapons is going to generate X amount of heat, and to deal with that heat loading, you're going to need X amount of heat sinks. And it's all run on, well, you remember the tabletop rules, runs as a calculation. You don't have any super fine control because it's all turn-based. So you have to build the mech slightly differently in Battletech in order to be able to deal with the heat loading issues that you get, especially since you want to be able to cycle the weapons as often as you possibly can. It becomes, once you've actually seen the gameplay, it becomes a bit easier to understand. Alright, so our target is going to be that one. And it looks like we've got 2 lancers, smuggling forces and smuggling reinforcements. So we're going to have potentially 8 mechs defending what I'm pretty sure is an Atlas on the back line. The other thing to consider too with MechWarrior 3 is when you're playing MechWarrior 3, that is close post-clan invasion. So at that point, you've got clan mechs floating around, and one of the things that clan mechs did have in abundance that was super rare prior to their invasion was double heat sinks. All of these are single heat sinks, excluding Hunter's SLDF Highlander. This is a Star League Defense Force Highlander, super rare, essentially lost tech, and it does have a number of double heat sinks in it. They are nearly impossible to come across, and they're worth millions. A double heat sink on its own is worth as much as a light mech, just for one. They're that valuable. By the time of MechWarrior 3, there was that, they'd remembered, well, the technology behind double heat sink development had been recovered.
Moving out.
And so they were being manufactured again, and the clan's mechs also exclusively used double heat sinks.
We got company.
Yeah, by the time of MechWarrior 3, that's basically all you ever mounted on your mech. And while they're called double heat sinks, they're actually closer to 3 to 4 times as efficient per space. So
If
you
I
can
were
have
planning
less
an
of them.
ambush, this is where I'd put it.
You say that at the start of every engagement. Yeah, you can have less heat sinks and actually have a higher performance across them. So MechWarrior 1 and 2 on the PS1, it's crazy how far the graphics have jumped to MechWarrior 3 on PC. From them to now is amazing. Yeah, it is. I mean, we'll zoom in and actually have a bit of a look at the models for you before I go too far into this. Is it going to let me... There we go. There is our awesome. And we've got a heavy Marauder over here. Obviously we're playing at night at the moment, so we've got the headlights on some of these as well. In the trees, that's one of our Highlanders, and then we have our other Highlander over here. So the graphics are pretty good. This is the 3D models used in Battletech are the same 3D models used in MechWarrior Online and MechWarrior 5. They've just been scaled slightly differently, and obviously you're playing from a third-person strategic viewpoint.
Ready for orders.
But it's not really surprising when you consider the age. Sadly, the MechWarrior series has been released over so long, such a large period of time. that you're going to see graphical jumps like that with every single game. I mean, I've started a playthrough here on Twitch as well for MechWarrior 4, MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, which I've just started uploading onto YouTube as edited down videos for easier consumption on the YouTube side of things. And the thing to remember, that game was released in 2002, and that was the last MechWarrior game released before the recent MechWarrior 5 and Battletech, excluding MechWarrior Online, but that's really easy to exclude. So that was released in 2019, MechWarrior 5, now 2022, so you're looking at a 20-year gap between sort of the current MechWarrior games now and when the last of the sort of constantly released MechWarrior series came out. If you jump back beyond that, MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries was 2002, MechWarrior 2 was 1994. So to get from MechWarrior 2 to MechWarrior 4, it's 8 years of technological development at a period when the very first 3D accelerator cards were becoming a thing. So a brand new technology that they could take advantage of. MechWarrior 2 being completely software based, and then by the time you get to MechWarrior 4, 3D accelerator card was required. So you've got a big period that the games were released over. Even back then, they were really spread out, and then a lot of technology that was developed in that period. And then to look at it back now, we're looking back 20 years, well 18 years between this and MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, which would be 1999 was MechWarrior 3, as I recall. So 21 years between this and MechWarrior 3. Sorry, the brain's a little foggy. I may have gotten the maths wrong there, but I think that's right. 21 years. Like, it's a big hole. We should have had a lot more games released in there. Alright, so we have a cicada.
Got a sensor lock on me.
I don't think I ever felt so old. I've become immune to that. The moment that I started teaching my daughter to drive a car and realized that she's 1 year from being able to go out and start nightclubbing, is the moment that I realized that I was old and I gave up.
Got it.
Just accept it. You're only as young as you feel, or as old as you feel. Do your best to feel as young as possible. It is what it is. It's a Marauder, that's okay. As long as she doesn't get too focused, it's fine. I'll get at the headshots in a second. Hey, Grievous. Hey, Mags. Unscheduled stream. Nearly lunch for us. Yeah, I'm trying to move the streams earlier in the day rather than later. Oh, we have a Warhammer over there. The late nights are getting a bit rough on me, and I've got a lot on. So, yeah, I'm going to try and start doing the streams not long after I'm out of bed earlier in the day, just before lunchtime my time, somewhere in that period. And then bust out the evening streams only on weekends. The constantly finishing the streams at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. was kind of hurting a bit, especially when I'm out of bed at 7:30 the next day. Alright, so Cicada, Grasshopper, we've got a Warhammer that is over here, and we didn't catch what that was, but it's 75 tons. And our objective still won't be engaged at this point, and we do have a second set of mechs that is going to come in. So, yeah, we're going to be a little bottlenecked up here. I need to get that Marauder into cover. I need to get the Highlander out and taking fire so it can tank. Glad I didn't go in tonight for OT. Would have missed the stream. Wow. There are other things more important than the stream. The stream can always be picked up on a VOD later. It's a good part about streams. Actually, interestingly, these have all taken a fairly serious beating. I can't see what these are, But that grasshopper is knackered. It's only got 25 armor on the torsos, 37 on the center. If I just alpha strike the grasshopper, it's entirely possible the Highlander's just going to tear it in half.
All weapons committed.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty close to tearing in half. Left torso destroyed, left arm destroyed,
Enemy mag.
pilot
Critical
injured,
damage
half its
detected.
internals gone. Jesus. Yeah, my birthday next month, and I'll be the age my dad was when I was born. Next year, Jurassic Park 3 is a decade old. Saw it in the cinema. Yeah, mate, I turned 39 this year. I have my 40th next year. I've already passed the age that my father was when I was born. My daughter is 17. She'll be having her 18th next year. Yeah, and my little sister, who, me and her are 16 years apart. I was 16 years old when my little sister was born. I'm not going to go into the details on that one, but there was a, yeah, regardless, there was a little bit of a gap. But yeah, I was at her engagement party last weekend. She's mid-20s now, and yeah, engaged to be married. So if there was ever any number of things surrounding you to make you feel old, I'm in the middle of them all, and I console myself on the fact that nothing I can do about it. That's understandable. I've also finished the story and running the enhanced mod. A bit different but interesting. I think after from 3, 4, 4.5 skull missions, quite easy with 3 assaults, 1 heavy. Yeah, well, I said I'll be going over to those mods next. That's my next. Battletech Enhanced, Battletech Extended is next, and then Battletech Advanced. Because I'm trying to get them to play through in sequence, so we go from 3025, which is where we're currently at with vanilla. The next mod extends through to 3067, which means we'll be able to play through the clan invasion and actually see the clan mechs come in. Apparently that mission, when that time actually hits, you'll actually see the clan invasion corridors form, and you have the whole inner sphere, so you can directly go in and fight the clans. So that'll be the next one. And then the mod after that, I think it's advanced, is 3067 and beyond, which is the same time period that MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries takes place in, which is the Fedcom Civil War. So that's the section of the series of mods that I'm trying to play through, because it'll essentially get us from 3025 all the way to 3100. Play through that entire time span and have all the mechs that are appropriate pop up at the times that are appropriate for them. My daughter is 13, and boy is she a... God, I'm having trouble reading that at the moment. Boy is she a teenager. Does it get easier? I wish I could say yes, but no.
Commander?
No, it doesn't. It gets worse, but it's worth it. Sorry to break the hopes and dreams, but that's, yeah. Teenaged angst is a thing, and they've got to do their thing. There's no
Firing all weapons.
There's no getting around it. But I can remember myself when I was back at that age, and I did exactly the same thing. So I'm going with my parents' way of solving it. Like every good teenager, I did everything that was possible to try and rebel against my parents, because
Armor's melting off.
that is what they do. My parents had the most ingenious way of solving that problem. They simply let me, which might sound weird, but it actually worked. Like, back then my parents were smokers. They're not anymore, thankfully, but they were. And so, like every teenager of the period, I went out and started smoking. Not exactly proud of it. I've long since quit. I was an idiot for doing it in the first place, but that's what I did, because of course I did. I was an idiot teenager. Mate come around. You know, I lived in rural Victoria, so farmland and the rest of it. mate snuck his car around to my place, jumped in the back seat of the car, sparked up Siggy in the back seat. Of course, my mum was out of bed. This was about midnight, 1 in the morning. She'd got up because she heard the car come in, because no matter how sneaky you are, your mate's V8 tends to make a little bit too much noise and gets heard. She sees me spark up in the back seat of the car. She already knew I was smoking, but she hadn't mentioned it. But first time she'd caught me red-handed. Wandered back inside. So, you smoking? Shit, been caught, haven't I? Alright. So I did the standard teenage thing. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? So what was my mother's response? Nothing, but you can spot me one, I'm running a bit short. It's really fucking hard to try and rebel when the first thing your mother does when you're trying to get the fight, you want that fight. And what does she do? She bites a smoke off you and sits back and have a smoke in the lounge room with you before just going back to bed like nothing happened. Well, that just took all of the fun out of the rebellion, and all of a sudden that was just not interesting anymore. So I had to go and find something else. Maybe I'll try drinking, you know, and try a little bit of the drinking thing. Right, so parents, of course, went around and bought me a bottle of bourbon. Invited all my mates around and told them to get shit-faced. If you keep cutting the rug out from underneath them, eventually they just give up, or at least I did. So I'm working on the same theory with my daughter. And I'm going to be working on that same theory with the boys. Just, they're going to try. You're not going to be able to stop them from rebelling. Just keep taking the fun out of it until they essentially give up and start trying to find, you know, something more interesting to do.
Receiving you.
Parents sound like legends. My favorite story with my parents is actually my mother, because my mother is 5'4", and she's a tiny little twig. There's nothing of her. I didn't realize this was going to turn into story time with Mags instead of Battletech, but I hope nobody minds this. But yeah, she's 5'4" and nothing. But my parents, my father's ex-Air Force, and my parents have always been into cars. And this would have been 90... No, I had my license, so this would have been very early 2000s. This would have been at least 2001, possibly 2002. And teenagers, P-plates, license, so we've got our brand new cars. And at that point in time, V8s were still allowed for P-platers. So we had...
Locking in all weapon systems.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. That was the first time we've actually fired the new Highlanders guns. So everybody's new P-platers. We've all got V8s. I had my V8 Statesman. Mate had his V8 VB Commodore. One of my other mates was the odd one out, and he was a little bit of a wanker. I thought his car was a little bit more. He had a VL 6-cylinder that was done up. He's a little bit of a wanker. Thought his car was a GDR Skyline, but it was just a stock Lancer with a body kit. Now, the way my parents' house was set up, being on a rural property, their house was actually right up on the road. It was a bitumen road, so it was a sealed road. But it had two entrances. It had an entrance for the main parking area, driveway area. Hit on the head, I gotta watch that. And it had a second entrance over at the machinery shed, because my father would bring the farm machinery up, pull it into the second driveway, and drive it into the big main workshop shed so he could repair whatever was broken and could fix it up. So it had one entrance and the other, and they're about, call it 60 metres apart. So what me and my mates were doing, or more to the point, what my mates were doing, because my Statesman at this point was very stock and couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding. So it was just parked off the side. This was before I did any modifications to it. But they were pulling out of the first driveway, lighting up the tyres on their cars to the second driveway, and then pulling in. So doing a little skid competition in front of the house, from driveway to driveway. Just light them up, see how much smoke you could bark up, and the rest of it. And of course, we're all P-platers with P-plate V8s, so like we could get the tyres to spin and a little bit of smoke, but it was nothing too impressive. It was just a little skid, nothing major. The problem is my mother was inside trying to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And all she could hear was these cars going rah, 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 and then, you know, that tyre squeal when you've sort of got the tyres spinning, but you haven't really got a decent burnout going that comes off. You hear that for a few seconds, and the cars were pulling in. And it was interrupting the show. And she was getting sick and tired of the show constantly being bit up for this noise. So she wanders out the front. Oi! You bastards! Front lawn. Nobody messes with my mother. So everybody onto the front lawn, lined up, basically military style. She wanders out. I should point out at the moment she's in her dressing gown and her moccasins as well. Like, this is early in the day before lunch and it's on a Sunday. She does not care. So she's, yeah, but basically dressing gown and moccasins. Wanders out and jumps into her shopping car. Now, her shopping car was a VX Commodore V8, so Gen 3, 5.7 litre V8, but it was a police pursuit edition that had been custom ordered in. So it was completely debadged, 6-speed manual, police computer, V8 in the front. This was her shopping car. Fires up the car. On the outside, it looks like a Commodore executive. Reverses it out of the driveway. You know, everyone's expecting her to yell, just yell at us for making too much noise. But no, she goes to the car, fires up the engine, backs it out of the driveway and onto the bitumen. Drops first, lights the tyres instantly to the point where the back end of the car disappears. Hard shifts third, so she's in third gear with the back tyres going. Both rears, the entire car vanishes in a cloud of smoke. Does a burnout that would win fucking competitions from driveway to driveway up the other one, pulls the car in with the wires hanging out the outside of the back tyres, drives it right across the front lawn in front of all of us, pulls it back into the carport around the side, jumps back out of the car, walks over to us and says, if you can't fucking do that in front of my house, don't fucking bother. Walks straight back inside the house and goes back to a TV show. I can tell you, for the remaining 15 years they lived in that house, not a single one of my mates ever tried to do a burnout in front of it, ever again. It just stopped. Instantly. Done. And that completely just, this 5'4" woman just destroyed the egos of a handful of teenage males. Like that. We were done. It was amazing. Sorry, that's just my favourite story. I love that one.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Alright, that one is out. Now, we've got the Marauder and this 75 tonner around here that we've got to deal with as well.
Commander?
You know, bloody epic story. It was a total... It was. It's still spoken... All these years later, you know, my mates now, I said, we're all in our 40s. One of my mates, the one that was there, that had the Commodore, he's 40 this year. I'm 40 next year. One of the other mates we don't speak to anymore, but everybody that was there is now in their 40s. We still talk about it. And the thing is, the VX Commodore is long gone. So that got sold off, obviously. But my mother still drives a V8 300C. And there's still 4 or 5 classic V8s around that house. Like, nothing's changed. The cost of the cars has gone up as they've collected new machines over time, but they're exactly the same. They still go to car shows. The old man's got an El Camino and, was it 1960 El Camino and a 61 Ford Thunderbird? I think it's a 61. And yeah, mum's shopping car, still a V8, it's just now a V8 300C, that's all. And yeah, nothing's changed. And funnily enough, it's still the same mates from those days who will occasionally wander around to my parents' house and get on the piss like, exactly like nothing's changed. Now, let's see if we can pop the head on this thing. Pilot lethal damage, alright. That is the Warhammer out of play.
Target neutralized.
What a mum would have killed to have her been in her family. She sounds great. Yeah, my parents were great. They knew exactly how to deal with teenage mags and just stop me from basically making a total dick of myself, at least back then. We need to work out what you are. And knew how to corral in a bunch of teenagers.
Aye, aye.
God damn it. God, I wish I knew what I did to my neck. And once again, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, some of you here might have missed it before, I've done some kind of injury to my neck. I have no idea how the hell I've managed to do it, but if I'm making odd grunting noises or choking noises every now and again, it's likely that I've turned my head too far and I'm kind of in somewhat level of agony. Now, we're going to have to go over the top and get to you because you are going to sit behind there and hide. Also, for those who missed the start of this mission, I think we might have found my Atlas too. This is a 4.5 skull mission against Marik, unfortunately, so we're about to lose all of my Marik rep for this, but I am pretty sure the target at the end of this that I spotted was an Atlas. I think we may have actually found the start of my Steiner Scout Lance.
Roger that.
It should hopefully be sitting somewhere over there. Alright, we have an extra... Alright, we have two 60-tonners coming in. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of the 75-tonner as fast as we can. Although they're only 60-tonners, and everything seems to be damaged, because this is... we're not actually fighting Marik here, although Marik is not going to be happy with us. We're losing 10 reputation for this. We're fighting a Marik-sponsored pirate lance. So their mechs are actually a little beaten up. Now, we're going to get Medusa into the trees, behind the Awesome, and get Medusa to shut down the mech for a turn, just so we can drop the heat loading. We're getting really close to overload here. Dad was a copper. His plainclothes car was the MGZ, was 180. V6 in it. Always hinted wanting it when he retired. He always said I'd kill myself in it. Then my partner had an accident and it wasn't her fault, which rode off her car, so I happily gave her the MG as a replacement. Still cry a bit to this day. You probably did nothing to your neck. No, I did some. I was doing a lot of housework yesterday.
Orders?
And I don't recall doing anything that that should have done something to the neck. But this is, you know, I get the normal. I'm near 40 aches and body pains. That's normal. I get those. This is a bit beyond that. This fucking hurts. Like this is, I can't lift my arm anything be any higher than my shoulder, and if I turn my head more than a few degrees in either direction, I like to turn and look back and forth at the moment. I'm actually twisting the elbows chair. I can't actually turn my head without causing myself pain. So yeah, I've done something. I just don't know what, and I can't recall what I did to do it either, which is kind of bad. Well, if you want the spoils for the end of the story missions, I'm happy to do it. You get a yeah, I know, you get an Atlas when you complete it. I've completed the story multiple times. The reason why I'm doing this playthrough is the one thing I have never managed to do is get Decker to the final mission and survive. There is actually an achievement in-game for having Decker survive all the way to the end. So I want that achievement. I've never managed to do that. And I've never managed to put together a full Steiner Scout Lance before the completion of the mission. The completion of the last mission. So I've never managed to get 4 Atlases. Although at the moment, I'll take 1. I'll take 1. The record I've ever managed to find was 2. They're kind of rare as rocking horse shit. But yes, you would do once you complete the game, you get Kamina's SLDF Atlas, which is the same one that you had on the mission where you get the SLDF Highlander. And we don't have anything else to target at this point, but whatever that 75-tonner is about to have a really bad day. 2 Highlanders encroaching on it. So what you're saying is play the system by dying early. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Damage is light.
I would strongly recommend, however,
Ready for orders.
spending much more time looking after yourself than I did. Most of the reason I've probably got my I'm getting old aches and pains is because I didn't do that. I really didn't take care of
Waiting for
myself,
orders.
and I'm suffering for it now quite a bit. I'll get the awesome lined up here. No, actually, no. We're going to...
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's make sure the awesome is presented
Acknowledge.
first before the Marauder. Just brace in the tree line. Actually, we must be facing Marik reinforcements because we're getting the Marik logo. This red is with okay, it's odd. Why the hell are these Marik mechs so
Damage
beaten
is
up?
minor, Commander.
Or are we just getting that because they're Marik sponsored? Alright, so we have a dragon, potentially 2 dragons. Alright, not
Aye,
not anything I'm super concerned about.
aye. Copy that. Taking the shot.
I rolled snake eyes on that head attack. That's unfortunate, but at least the shots all landed. Breaching shot. Yeah, we need to deal with that 75 tonner. We've got a lot coming down. What is that? Another 65? So 2 dragons, maybe a thunderbolt.
Standing by.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to let. Well, it is an Orion. Not sure Decker's gonna have enough firepower to take it. Oh no, he should have enough. Well, I haven't.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Yeah.
They've got a
that's
sensor
fourth
lock
mech.
on me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to support the awesome over there, otherwise we're going to lose it. That's a lot of firepower coming in at the moment. After watching the MechWarrior 4 video, gotta say, how did they screw up MechWarrior 5 so bad? Such great predecessors to 3 and 4. Yeah, I made this comment during the live streams, and when I go back to live streaming 4, the only reason I've stopped live streaming 4 at the moment is I've got a bit of an issue with hard drive space. I have ordered in a new drive, it just hasn't arrived yet. So basically, because I'm recording these streams and then editing them for YouTube, I need the space to hold the streams, and a 3.5 hour stream at lossless recorded on my end is 180, 190 gig a stream. So I've got to... I can't record and hold any more of them at the moment. I've got to edit what I've got. So I've actually done 3 streams of MechWarrior 4 at this point. I'm about halfway through, a third to halfway through the campaign. So, yeah, basically every stream that I record is the size of the install for Microsoft Flight Simulator in just one video. But anyways, at this point I'm actually about a third to half of the way through the MechWarrior 4 campaign, and the more you watch, the more you realize that MechWarrior 5 missed. Like, the more you can see how much MechWarrior 5 missed. And I've asked that question in the stream as well, because I don't understand it. Because the blueprint's there. MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. MechWarrior 3 is arguably the better game. I would say MechWarrior 3 is the better game. It's definitely the more simulation style game, and MechWarrior does work better as a sim than it does as a game. But MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries is a nice balance between the two, where it's got a lot of the good sim elements, but it's still got a little bit more of the lighter game elements on board. So it works really nicely. It's a really nice balance. And it's a blueprint. Because the way MechWarrior works doesn't require you to invent new mechanics. You just need to take the mechanics that existed in the past and brush them up for, you know, a new title that's made 20 years later and make it function. You know, improve the UI and stuff, obviously. Work the UI a little bit. Maybe add a few new features that they couldn't quite do from the technology side. But otherwise, the game itself doesn't actually have to be changed. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And this is why I don't want Piranha to do MechWarrior 6. And why I don't want anyone to remake the MechWarrior series at this point. Because MechWarrior 5 demonstrated that Piranha, who also did MechWarrior Online. MechWarrior Online is a shit show. Outside of the setting, it really doesn't have anything to do with MechWarrior, because they were willing to give away... What's the best way to describe this? As I said before, MechWarrior works better as a simulation than a game. The thing about a simulation is that there are some things that are going to be overpowered in comparison to other things. And this is the way that Battletech is supposed to work. A Gauss rifle, encountering a mech that has a Gauss rifle, is supposed to be fucking horrific. That thing can punch a hole through a medium mech from front to rear in a single shot, even from full armor. It is an terrible weapon system to encounter. Encountering something like a PPC is supposed to do huge amounts of damage, as well as have the electrical effect that it as it detonates, causing almost like a localized EMP hit when it actually strikes your mech, causing you to get power fluctuations and things to get messed up. The weapons are supposed to be powerful, and when you encounter these weapons, it's supposed to be a problem that you got to work around. MechWarrior Online neutered that by essentially removing all of the bonus features and normalizing all the weapons damages, to the point that at one point in MechWarrior Online, machine guns were doing the same amount of damage as AC-5s. That's not Battletech. So this is why I never really got into MechWarrior Online. For the purposes of balance and gameplay, they essentially neutered the entire game. MechWarrior 5, thankfully, they didn't do that, but what they tried to do for MechWarrior 5 is reinvent the wheel. They took a lot of whatever they could take as assets out of MechWarrior Online, and then they tried to revert it in some way, but they also tried to reinvent the wheel and do their own way of demonstrating the storylines and making this farther story. Yeah, you've played MechWarrior 5. I don't need to describe it. They tried to do their own thing, and it was... There are elements of it that were good. The co-op side of things is fantastic, but they managed to completely miss the point in the process. And this is two MechWarrior games that have been developed by Piranha that demonstrates that while they might have a passion for the universe, or had a passion for the universe, they don't actually understand it. I'm hoping, since it looks like they're... I should probably continue playing here. Since there are... Oh yes, that works.
Engaging
I'm
jump
hoping,
jets.
since their licensing agreement is going to expire, I believe, next year, and it seems their new owners, because they have been bought out since, don't have much interest in the Battletech or MechWarrior universe, that what's going to happen, the license is going to revert to Microsoft, and Microsoft's going to decide
Enemy mech.
that the
Critical
license
damage
is still too
detected.
active to be left alone, and with their current massive amount of developers underneath their belt, it's going to get handed to somebody who might actually build MechWarrior 6, who might get it. And if they can work out that, and all they've got to do it is look back at MechWarrior 4 and MechWarrior 3 and go, okay, how do we make this now? If they can do that, I not only want them to make a MechWarrior 6, I want them to actually remaster everything from MechWarrior 2 all the way to MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, including all the expansion packs, inside the new engine that they create to do MechWarrior 6.
I'm receiving you.
But yeah, I just don't trust Piranha with the IP anymore. They've demonstrated twice that they don't get it. The Battletech guys here, they get it, but that shouldn't be surprising to anybody, because the developers for this, half the developers were FASA Corporation. They were the original creators of the Battletech universe. They used Piranha's 3D models, because Piranha, I will say that's one thing Piranha did do nicely, is it did modernize a lot of the mechs. I'm not a huge fan of all of their modernized mech designs, but as a general rule, the artists who did the 3D modeling did a really nice job on most of what was there. Let's see if we can. We'll go for another precision strike. Although I don't want to burn too many of these. Although we've got the point. Actually, no, we won't. Let's just get rid of that dragon. I want the dragon out of play.
Firing.
That'll be enough to kill it. Maybe. Or maybe not. We're going to miss the center torso. Yeah, but yeah, these guys get it because a lot of them were the original creators of Battletech in the first place. Piranha, yeah, I just don't trust them anymore. I want somebody else to get the IP and have a crack at it. And I'm not overly mindful of who. I'm open for options there.
Got it. Scored a critical hit.
So Ryan's playing hard to get. Which reminds me of Mech Warrior, Mech Commander Gold. Yeah, the Mech Commander game was fantastic back in the day as well. I have got Mech Commander 1 running. I still have not managed to get Mech Commander 2 running. These are on my list for retro replays as well. I can only play so many games at any given time. But yes, it's on the list. And yeah, fantastic games as well. But the thing was, back in the day, almost all of the Mech Warrior games had somebody that was FASA related that were working on them, or at least in the development team. So they were all focused, and they were all made by enthusiasts. And you also look at the developers for the time period as well. So, like, Mech Warrior 3 is the big one. Mech Warrior 3, as I said before, Battletech tends to work better, or Mech Warrior tends to work better if it's more focused on the simulation side than the game side. Mech Warrior 3 is generally considered to be the best of the Mech Warrior games. Who made Mech Warrior 3? Late 90s Micropose. It was made at the same time they were making Falcon 4. Micropose was the name in simulation development at the time. There was nobody else who made sims better than they did. And they took on the Mech Warrior title and produced the best Mech Warrior game.
Engaging target.
Mech Warrior 2
Enemy mech destroyed.
was early 90s Activision before they turned into the Activision we know now, which was good Activision. They actually made a lot of great games back in the day. And did a few sim titles as well. In fact, most of the big developers that you know now that existed back in the early 90s through to the late 90s that would never touch a simulation title now at all. You would never see them making a sim. They all developed simulations back in the day. The Silent Hunter series of games, you know, possibly the greatest World War II submarine simulation series ever created. That was Ubisoft.
Confirmed.
Everybody had a sim back in the day that they worked on.
Acknowledged.
The Orion's out. So now I've just got to have the awesome tank these two dragons for long enough to get the Highlanders back over here. Mech Warrior 3 actually ran on my PC that had 128 megabytes of RAM, which is less than a modern watch nowadays, but when you fire 4 Ultra AC20s, the computer near crashed. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's even... Oh, yes, that was below the system requirements at the time, I'm pretty sure, as well. That might have been pushing it a little bit. That's the dream of EG7, can turn it around. Yeah, we'll see what happens. As long as none of the triple R companies get their hands on it, there'll be a chance it'll be good. Well, in the end, the IP is owned by Microsoft. So chances are, yes, it's going to go into AAA developers. AAA developers... like, it's going to get into one of their hands. The thing is, I'm less concerned about that than you might think. The thing with Microsoft's AAA teams is, for the most part, Microsoft seems to have worked out the games are better when they don't, you know, keep sticking their hands in the cookie jar. They used to stick their hands into the cookie jar every single time that a developer did something. they had to be involved. But that seems to be something they're staying away from for the moment.
Engaging.
Come on, kill it. Thank you. Alright, that's one of the dragons down. I think a little bit of the firepower out of play.
Target eliminated.
My major concern is it will go to somebody to make a game just for the sake of making a game. That's the problem. A AAA
Got a lock
studio
on me.
under Microsoft isn't necessarily a bad thing, so long as the team that
Commander?
picks it up is a team that actually is passionate about MechWarrior. Basically, you want a team full of people that are currently in their very late 30s to mid 40s that grew up on MechWarrior 2, MechWarrior 3, and MechWarrior 4 that are now in games development and in a position to actually make a MechWarrior game. That's who you're after. Doesn't really matter if they're an indie developer or if they're a AAA developer. You want somebody who's got that passion to actually make a MechWarrior game.
I copy.
If we can find that, we're good. That's all we need. And being under Microsoft's belt, money shouldn't be an issue when it comes to actually producing this. Yep, gotta get the Marauder out of there. She's not going to be able to tank too much. Sind, why the fuck are you on at this hour? What are you talking about at this hour? It's like lunchtime. No, it's lunchtime. It's 12:26. I am having a early day today. I'm going to start trying to stream earlier rather than later because streaming till 3 AM to 4 AM, I'm not dealing with that quite so well anymore.
Engaging
Not when I'm
jump
getting
jets.
out of bed at 7:30. It's a bit painful. So, Gore's rifle on.
Engaging target.
So left arm out. Ammunition explosion. Pilot injured. Right
Enemy
torso
mech.
destroyed.
Critical damage
Alright, that's
detected.
taken the teeth out of that dragon as well, which helps. Yeah, definitely got to get the Marauder out of the way. And those shots are coming from the left, so that's not good. That's not what I wanted.
Standing by.
Those shots came from over here. That's the Atlas. The Atlas is engaging. Alright, so I need to circle the Marauder back around so we can get ready to start popping headshots at the Atlas. And I need to deal with these assholes as quickly as possible.
Rolling.
Reminds me of what happened to Command & Conquer series. Westwood made the originals and they stand the test of time as amazing. Then EA bought the franchise and the game died. Fast forward 20 years, they rehire Westwood guys to release a HD version and they crushed it. Shows companies with passion always do better than money grabbers. Exactly. This is the key problem with most of modern gaming. I know everyone likes to hate on AAA, but the issue isn't actually AAA developers. AAA developers as a concept are fine. They're just, all that is a development studio that has all the backing and support and money that they need to make a really good game. The problem is that they're often making games for people in suits sitting at a board, sitting on a board of directors that are looking at making money for shareholders. They're not making money for not making games for gamers anymore. And those games always wind up being crap. They're where the bad AAA games come from. But every now and again, you'll get this beautiful gem come out of a AAA studio that is a wonderful game. And you're like, whoa, they're amazing, they're awesome. Now, all that's happened there is a AAA studio was given permission to make a game that they actually wanted to make. Not to appease a board of directors and a bunch of shareholders, but to actually make a game they were passionate about. And it turns out to be awesome. This is what we need more of. Let the development studios make the games they're passionate about. The gaming community will enjoy those games, and the shareholders will profit because the gaming community will buy a shitload of the copies. For example, Elden Ring. Like it or hate it, depending on where you want to go with it, it is selling gangbusters, and I'm pretty sure the developers on that were pretty passionate about it when they made that game. It's very much in their niche, but they made the game they wanted to make. They're very happy with the game that they made. The people playing it are generally pretty happy with the game that they've bought, and I'm not sure if there's shareholders in their company anywhere at all, but if they are, I imagine they're really happy right now.
Got it, Commander. Inflicted some heavy damage.
That dragon is basically gone now. It would be awesome if it could tank them. Yeah, good nudge, nudge, hint, hint with their Sind. The issue I've got with the awesome is it has been tanking them and it's lost about half its armor.
What do you need?
Although, to be fair, we've broken the dragons. I'm not sure what we've got coming up in the 65 ton and the 70. It's possibly a Warhammer and I'm thinking a Thunderbolt. So the awesome did its job. I'm not going to complain too much. The awesome did its job.
Copy that.
Alright, so Marauder is disengaging, and I'm going to bring it up around and try and get into the tree line over here, because there'd be an Atlas over there, and that is, I want to leave here with the Atlas. Everything else is a bonus. The Atlas is a requirement.
Ready for orders.
Alright, Decker, let's do the whole jumpy thing to get you in close enough. So I want to make sure everybody's focused on these Highlanders. It is bloody nice to have 2 Highlanders, I might add, as well. And it's a Grasshopper. Okay, no, not a Warhammer, a Grasshopper. What is left? Alright, the Dragon... Nah, we won't worry about the Dragon. Let's focus on the Grasshopper. The Dragon's got no weapons left.
I copy.
Let's break the Grasshopper next.
Critical hit, Commander. I'm gonna need a medic.
Oh, that's alright.
Armor's
It's
getting
all right.
stripped off.
He's good. Archangel has the health points, I think. Hawado, I wanted to sub, but my bank is screwed up though. Love your content no matter what it is. No, that's alright, mate. You know, you sub if you can, and if you can't, you can't. Like, I'm not stressed either
Commander?
way. You know, if you want to sub at a later time, that would be amazing. If not, cool. I'm going to be doing what I can to stream regardless. Same goes with the merch store stuff. If you like the shirts, grab one. If you don't, don't. Don't feel pressured. It's nice for the support, but it's just there as an option. I don't ask or beg anybody to do it.
Roger that.
Ooh, that was more like it.
Critical hit, Commander.
Speaking of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 was a knockout game, although it definitely has its flaws. It showed them the kind of success going off the beaten path and taking risks could do. There was a little bit
Light
more of that
damage.
as well.
Holding firm.
A little bit more to that as well. Microsoft Flight Simulator is definitely a demonstration for a lot of Microsoft's cloud tech, particularly the Azure AI. So it is a marketing thing. That is one thing that does need to be remembered. That's not a bad thing, by the way. They can demo whatever tech they want to demo, but that was part of the reason it was made. The other reason, my personal opinion, part of the reason why Microsoft got back into flight simming, was most of their directors of Xbox gaming have pilot's licenses, or at least so I've been told. They're all light aviation pilots. They've all got, you know, Cessnas or, you know, whatever. They've all got planes of their own. They're all aircraft enthusiasts. That's what they do on their weekends. They go out and they fly. So it doesn't surprise me if you get a whole bunch of people that are into planes in charge of a section of a company that at one point, well did still hold the IP to the single most well-known flight simulator ever made, that they're probably going to go, hey, maybe we should bring this back. There was a little bit of self-interest involved that I think triggered off the development of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But again, that works out great for us. We got a fantastic, beautiful flight simulator out of it. They got what they wanted, and they got to demo some tech, so everybody wins. But yeah, it wasn't just a beaten path thing for the community. There was a few other things going on in there, I think. Now, how to divide you? You're going to be... Keep the SRMs on A. you're going to be... Again, for those who haven't seen Battletech played before, this is a multi-target attack, so I'm attacking 2 mechs at the same time. What I'm doing here is deciding what weapons are going to be going for what vehicles. So the Dragon here at A has basically no armor left and no weapons left, so I want enough to kill it, but I don't want to really waste too much in the way of weapons on it. So I'm going to put the 2 Mead lasers onto B, along with the Gauss rifle and the LRMs. Actually no, we'll put 2 Mead lasers on the Dragon plus the SRMs. That should finish it off.
Engaging multiple targets.
Yep, CT destroyed. Okay, cool. So that's the Dragon removed, so we don't have to worry about it getting to melee, because that was the only thing we left to do. Pen destroyed, equal damage. That's a fully recovered Grasshopper as well, if we get
Enemy
lucky.
mech destroyed.
Boom! Headshot. Well, that was a successful turn.
Ready for orders.
Now we've only got 1 mech remaining over here, this 65-tonner, and the Atlas. And the Atlas is the goal. The Atlas is the goal, so... I am... How far does that give us distance-wise? I just want to make sure that the Marauder doesn't have to tank. Yeah, want to make sure that the Marauder doesn't have to tank an Atlas on its own, because it won't survive it if it does. Depending on what model is. We don't know exactly what variant it is. It won't be an SLDF Atlas, I can tell you that much. It'll be one of the general variants, but I think there's 3 variants of the Atlas that are in this game, not counting the Star League Defense Force version. So I'm not sure what version it will be.
Waiting for orders.
One way or another, yeah, we do not want the Marauder to have to tank it. We want the Highlander to have to tank it. In fact, we should probably do this right now. We're going to bring the Highlander up. Or do we want... It's undamaged. It's still probably going to be the best option. I really need to focus on that. Yeah. Tough choice. Do I leave a 65-ton mech at my back and focus completely on the Atlas? Or do I send somebody to run off that is probably not going to be able to get back into the fight with the Atlas? Yeah, we're going to go... Yeah, we will... Yeah. Change that. No, we're going to go... down and use the jump jets to go over and get up to the 65-tonner. We're going to send Decker to engage the 65-tonner. And I'm going to turn my Hunter, my main character, around and have him engage the Atlas directly as to tank it. Archangel can run support either way. We'll see what happens. The executives of these AAAs are idiots. Well, they're not idiots, but they're not. The thing is, they're not gamers. They're completely pen pushers that are about the money. The decisions they make. I've worked with pen pushers like this before when I used to work in advertising. I can understand the decisions that AAA studios make based on. Yep, it is an Atlas AS7D. I can understand the decisions that they make based on the board of directors from the standpoint of optimizing the income to the business. I've seen these people work in person before. The thing is, they only are making, when they do this, they're only working for the shareholders and the board of directors. Gaming is about a larger community than that, and the decisions that they make, while they're not stupid from a business standpoint,
Engaging target.
Target damaged. Concentrate your fire and bring it down.
Did anything hit the head? No. Yeah, well, they're not stupid from the business standpoint when you're solely focused on the books. They do cause problems when you look at the greater community.
Standing by.
Well, you can see what it does to some developers if let go to its extreme, extreme end. Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts was originally a developer, not a publisher. Electronic Arts was originally founded in the late 80s by a bunch of gaming enthusiasts whose sole goal was to try and make games that people loved. And if you look at their early games,
On my way.
and the games that
Double
they eventually
time.
started doing publishing for rather than developing as they got big enough, they were very passionate about what happened. And then, but given enough time, that rolled through into them becoming the Electronic Arts we know today, which is solely a publisher. They don't really develop anything of their own, and they completely play the business decisions off the books and spreadsheets. They don't look at the gaming community.
Yeah.
They have no real interest in games. It's all just the numbers. That's all they're interested in. And yeah, that's the Electronic Arts that they become. That's what the long-term effect of that way of thinking is. Microsoft did it as well. They seem to be coming back from it at the moment. Hopefully they can stay back from it. Alright, so I'm doing an alpha strike with the Marauder, 2 PPCs, 1 large laser, 2 medium lasers. We're going in with the whole lot. This is going to be half our heat loading in a single attack. I'm doing this because I'm pretty sure that Atlas is going to try and alpha strike my Marauder. I'm hoping it survives. Hopefully we kill it.
Roger.
Please kill it. Please. So we got 1 hit on the head. Yeah, we got at least 1 hit. And it looked like a PPC hit as well, so that'll be enough that a second hit should kill the head. Cheeky. Side attack from the 65 ton.
Warning. Armor low.
Yes,
Okay,
Commander.
Time for you. Oh no, looks like we're not going to be able to. Right, if I do a sprint, I'm not going to be able to attack, but it's also going to present a threat that's too great for whatever that is to ignore. It's going to have to engage Decker in this turn. And it's catapult. It is a catapult. Ooh, right torso destroyed, right arm destroyed. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a thing.
Commander.
Ouch.
I lost a weapon.
Yeah, ouch. That hurt. That hurt. That really hurt.
I'm ready.
I knew that was going to happen. I just knew that was going to happen. Yeah, that's why I didn't want the Marauder to go around the corner until I had somebody else there that could tank for it, because this is an Atlas. This is Kerensky's mech. And even if it's not a Star League Defense Force variant, it's gonna hurt anything that it hits, which is precisely why I want the bloody thing. Alright, we've only got 18% chance to hit the head with with Hunter rather.
All weapons committed.
We did hit the head again.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Orders?
The problem is Archangel doesn't really have the precision to be able to pull off the headshot. Before we, I might not fire from this
Moving to
position. Would
position.
be awesome. I'm just going to present it as another target. Oh no, all the shots on the head. That's okay. Torso armor is actually doing relatively well. It's only got a 5% chance to hit though, so we're not going to do the precision strike. No, I'm just going to brace the awesome and just hope that it gets the intention. Am I streaming on another platform? No, at the moment I'm only streaming on Twitch. I haven't worked out the multi-streaming side of stuff yet to try and stream on Twitch and YouTube and a few other things. So, unfortunately, no, I'm not.
Orders.
I am looking to do that, though. Move to stabilize. Still in. Alright, so we've only got one PPC and one MEAD laser left. That really hurt. Hopefully, we hit. Please hit.
Roger that.
We hit the head and it still wasn't enough. That's 2 PPC. Oh, I could lose some Marauder. Oh, for fuck's sake. Stop shooting my goddamn Marauder.
I'm taking internal damage. Orders? Affirmative. Firing all weapons. Solid connection on that
Just rid
one.
of one of the LRM-20s. Good. Oh, thank Christ. I thought he was going to go in the water again. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little behind on the chat, guys. There's a lot talking, and I'm trying to also concentrate on this as well. So, yes, there's an Atlas on the field. That's what we're here for, to try and pick this one up. Another bot, 2 bots. I missed both of those. No mods on. Yeah, I'll take care of it all. Dead meat's floating around now. I should lower the amount of bots in the chat. Want to chat? Hit that damn follow button. Actually, that's a really good idea. Yeah, guys, hit the follow button. It's free. That'll solve the problem. It should get rid of most of the bots. Fantastic idea, Dead Meat. If I wasn't following, definitely suppressed. EA Games, challenge everything. Something, BioWare and Anthem. What EA? Yeah. Anthem is a perfect example of what of this happening. BioWare, once upon a time, made games with passion. They were absolutely fantastic. Anthem was a game that was made because... what's the other one that's like Anthem? Shit. What's the name of the other game that was out? There was another game that was very simple. It was pretty clear that they were trying to copy. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, it was made because that was popular, and somebody on the board of directors went, hey, we should make one of those because this is popular. And so they did. And that was the whole reason that game came into existence. And the quality of the game... Destiny, that's the one. And the quality of the game, when it released, it reflects
Engaging jump jets.
why that game was made. Alright, come on, please, decapitate this bastard. Head hit again, only injured.
Yes, Commander.
How many times do we have
Ready
to
for
shoot
orders.
this thing? On the upside, we can give
Position
this
confirmed.
catapult more to worry about so it doesn't continue harassing the Marauder.
Target's taking a critical hit.
What do you
Right,
need?
Medusa again.
Head now.
Only going to get a shot with the PPC from here.
Engage.
Please.
Target.
No, it's going to hit the leg. On the upside, we are beating the hell out of this Atlas. Dead meat, your pain makes me hard. Yes. That's alright. I'll watch your next stream for Euro Truck or
Good to
American
go.
Truck Simulator and laugh as you tip it over.
Moving to position.
I'm a mod, it's my job to make the streamer miserable for our amusement. Yes, this is what Dead Meat does. Yeah. It's fine. So somebody scratching your head. No, this is normal. This is absolutely normal.
That hit something good.
Mags can fire you if he wants to. Yeah, but I won't. I know where he lives. He knows where I live. Actually, that's the problem. We haven't caught up in a while. We need to do something about that. Now all the COVID rules have gone away. We can actually go places and do things again, which is good. Alright. We are running out of precision strikes here. We've just nearly burned everything out. God, I hope this lands. Please.
All weapons committed.
Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ. How many times did I have to shoot you in the head to put you down? On the upside, that's why I wanted the Atlas. Speaking of which, I now have an Atlas. Right, now we've just got to get rid of this damn catapult. Just kill it.
Scratch
There we
another
go.
target.
Target neutralized.
Fallout 70 shit. Yeah.
Mission successful.
We don't talk about that Fallout game. Although apparently they've done their best to try and improve it, but the fact that they've had to improve it to get it to a standard, oh, that hurts on the Marauder. But Hunter carrying the weight over here, 5 mech kills. Very nice. Alright, so, salvage options. We've got 3 to pick from, and I know exactly what our 3 are going to be. We are taking the AS7D Atlas, 100 ton. We finally got our first one. Now, hopefully, it'd be nice. We did headshot the Warhammer. 2 parts of the Warhammer would be nice. 2 parts of the Grasshopper we headshot would be nice. Cicada would be nice. That would cover some of the repairs, but yet we have an Atlas. Alright, and we got the 1 part Cicada, so we got the 40 tonner that we can sell off, and we got 1 Grasshopper. 2 medium lasers and a PPC, but they're in standard issue, but at least we got replacements so we can fix the Marauder after all this.
That mech you wanted is back online.
Alright. Atlas D is the king of the battlefield, capable of bringing a dizzying array of weaponry to bear on targets at any range. It is also noteworthy for normally mounting the maximum amount of armor possible. Few opponents can survive even brief contact with this monster.
That
yes,
mech is ready
I
to
need
fight,
3
Commander.
more of them. And we don't care too much about the Cicada, it's just there to sell and cover the repair costs. So we're going to need to do some mech repairs. Yes, we're going to bolt the Marauder back together. And we're going to have a look at our mech pilots. So let's start with the mech bay. Awesome should just be a straight repair. Nothing major there. It just took a bit of a beating, that's all. Cicada can get pulled down and put into storage to be sold off later. Oh, this is the really healthy looking mech bay now. Now the Marauder we have to refit. This is gonna hurt. Alright, so repair the legs. We lost a heat sink. We lost a standard large laser, we lost a double PPC, and we lost a double plus medium. So, what we're going to do is put the large laser back in the torso. Because this is a double plus. We only had a standard in there before. Plus 5 damage, so we got one down here that's plus 10. But this also has +1 accuracy, and considering this is the sniper mech, that is the better option. Now, we do not have an upgraded PPC.
I'm on my way.
Let's do a quick store check just to see if there's anything for sale. No, only medium lasers. Okay, fair enough. Alright, so we're just going to have to whack a standard PPC in there at the moment, which is unfortunately a little bit of a downgrade. But we do have a +3 accuracy. Ooh. No, we'll just go with the 2, the +3 accuracy. We've got a +3 accuracy plus 50% crit, medium, but I don't want to put that in the arms. Although, no, we will. We'll whack that one in the arms. And while we're at it, I might actually pull that one out. And put the +3 accuracy in that side too. Increase the accuracy on both of our medium lasers. So yeah, we're going to have to look for accuracy boosted PPCs, is what we're after now. Now, equipment wise, we can whack another heatsink back in the leg, and we should be good to go. So it's going to take 6 days to bolt us back together, which is fine, because we're probably leaving the planet now and going elsewhere.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
And now we have our beast. We finally got one. Oh, that makes me happy. Kerensky's monster is in my hangar. Alright, so we got the AC-20 version. Medium lasers, medium lasers, medium lasers, LRM-20s. Alright, so what can we start swapping out here? Yeah, we're going to yank the AC-20. We're putting the AC-20 ammo in the legs because screw that for a joke. We'll also put the heat sinks in the legs. Heat sink center torso. Right. Got all that LRM ammo as around as well. Yeah, we're going to have to... We want to keep all the ammo out of the torsos. You know, standard Mech Warrior rules. Same works for Mech Warrior, works for Battletech. Just get all of the ammunition out of the torsos. Do not put ammunition in the torsos. Unless it's Gauze ammunition. It's the only ammunition that's allowed. Because it doesn't blow up. Alright, so medium lasers. Well, the center torso medium lasers are obviously the two most important ones. So we'll switch those in for the upgrades. I'll keep standard lasers in the arms for the moment. Heat efficiency is really... Actually, it should be fine, I would think, for the moment. Missile systems. Alright, so we have... We've got a really good LRM-15, but... no LRM-20 upgrades. Stability damage, crit. We can yank the SRM-6 and bolt that one in its place, which is +2 damage, and it does bonus stability damage, which is good. Actually, we're going to yank the LRM-20, and I'm going to fit twin SRM-6s where is my SRM ammo? Alright, so twin SRM-6s. This feeds me up a whole bunch of tonnage to start turning all of these numbers all the way up to full. Make sure all the armor is maximized as much as possible, and we'll even whack some extra rear. 96. So we still have 2 tons to play with here. Now we have 2 ballistic slots in the right torso. We've maxed out anywhere else. Equipment. I think 3 slots. Has to be mounted in the center torso, so we can't fit the gyro, it's just too large. Not without pulling one of the medium lasers out, which I don't really want to do. We don't have a cockpit mod. I need to yank the cockpit mod out of one of the other mechs. Or we need to find a new one. Probably do equipment wise. We'll whack another heat sink into it just to try and get the heat efficiency up a little bit more. Melee in an Atlas. It's tempting. Gets us up to 98. Shame we don't have 2 arm mods. Actually, I do have 2 arm mods. The other ones are in the Hulk at the moment. Alright, I'm actually just going to go with that at the moment. I'm going to leave it tonnage short because I've got a couple of other things I want to whack in here yet, and I'm going to have to pull them off other mechs.
I'll get it in the schedule.
So I'll let that one complete, because that's going to take a little bit while we're transferring around. And yeah, we've still got to wait for the Hulk to be completed so I can yank the rest of the components out of it. Now, one of these might be the Annihilator, has a cockpit mod in it. Sorry, I just had a small freeze then. Yes, it does. Alright, so we're going to yank the cockpit mod out. I want that removed. And we'll confirm. It's not as good as the one that's in the SLDF Highlander, but
On it.
the Annihilator
when that's
is,
done.
I mean, the Annihilator's just been replaced. Right. Yeah, no, I'll leave that for the moment. Once the work on the Atlas is completed, I'll whack that cockpit mod in, and I'll also yank some extra components out of the Hulk and potentially upgrade it for its melee. Upgrade its melee capability. Basically, I'm reconfiguring the Atlas very ever so slightly, so it's now entirely focused at medium to short ranges. So if this thing gets into close range, it will rip anything that it encounters apart. Twin SRM6s at close range, plus the AC-20 with bonuses, plus all of the medium lasers being bonused up as well, and then upgrade its melee ability so when it actually gets close to its heat threshold, closes into melee range and punches something hard enough in the face that it causes the entire mech to implode. That's what I'm going for. Dead meat, if we can get a hype train going, I will consider organising turning Mags into Uru Waifu VTuber. No, you won't. No, you fucking won't. You definitely will not. Imagine being stopped during COVID. So what is your reason for travelling? I'm on my way to shit on this guy's desk. He's still not recorded my gift to him. Tomorrow is literally a year since I bought it for him. I don't recall what it was that you got, Sind, but I imagine it was nothing that I'm ever going to record. It's a trip for business. When are you going to play Attack? Yeah, no, never. Never. It took, what, 3 years of you begging me to do the April Fool's joke playing that stupid fucking tank game, and I couldn't even get through 10 minutes of that. Well, my message is going to be highlighted. Now to say something profound. Yeah, I got nothing. Well, thank you, Howard. In the voice of Morgan Freeman, Titty Sparkles. That's an appropriate message to be highlighted. So the King Crab is next step up from the Marauder. Any leads on one? Yes and no, it's the next step up. The reason why I keep the Marauder is for its sniping capability, which is the King Crab. I'm actually not entirely sure if the King Crab has any of the command modules on it to be able to pull it off. But no leads on one. As I've said in the past, in regards to King Crabs, I have encountered one in this game. In the entire time that I've been playing it, in at least 1,000 hours, I have encountered one. And I didn't get it. So I've never actually managed to find a second one. Wait, we just saw the Uwu comment. Can we do that to Mags? No, you can't. You absolutely can't in any way, shape, or form. You mean turning... Oh, God damn it. God. Get stuffed, dead meat. Grabbing lunch, back soon. Is the chat not working or is not looking? Yeah, I wasn't looking, Howard, while I was just working out what I'm going to do with the Atlas. Pretty big decisions that I have to make on that one. When it eventually happens, I want tanks tank dating sim redux. Never. I did that once for an April Fool's joke, not doing it twice. It was sprinkles, not sparkles. Half blind confirmed on stream. Yeah, more than half blind sim. Alright. That's the hangar done with for the moment. I'm going to have to start scraping out some of these mechs, or my maintenance bill is going to be ridiculous. Barracks, mech warriors. Let's sort out some of the pilots. So Archangel was injured, but picked up 9,000 points. So I'm going to push Tactics 9. Now Archangel should get the same 13% base bonus. And if I was to put him inside of the Marauder, he should get the 35% to headshots. Yep, we'll go with that.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Standing by.
Decker. We might as well level out your piloting for the melee hit bonuses since you're driving a Highlander at the moment.
What's up, boss?
Garajet, nothing interesting happening. Hunter's already maxed out.
Standing by.
Marvel, 4,000 points. Marvel was going... I was saving that up, so I need another 800 points or so to get breaching shot.
Yep.
And Medusa.
Mech warrior training complete.
Is now a 10 rank pilot across the board.
Commander.
Picnic. Probably just focus on gunnery.
Training
Greater base
confirmed,
weapon
Commander.
hit chance is always good. And
Commander?
Unruly is my new pilot that's currently only learning off of the simulator. Wow, you actually got a few points up from that. The simulator pods. What was I going to do with you? Decker and Gyro Jet are designed to match. Marvel's going to be a copy of Hunter. Medusa isn't actually ideal setup for... You know what? I'm going to go Guts. Yeah, I'm going to go for Guts and Master Tactician. I think will be the combination I go for. Yep, we'll
Training
confirm
complete.
that one. Alright, so that gets Unruly underway. And navigation. We've got no more contracts here we can do, so we are going to get out of Dodge and head for the next system over, and hopefully maybe appease Marik a little. So we get Battlefield, Lunar World, Medium Gravity Planet, Moons, Token Population, and Uninhabited. The airless world of Virpil. God, who the hell named that? Was a critical military base defending Laos' border from the Free Worlds League. The League seized the base and in the Second Succession War and then abandoned it, detonating nuclear devices inside the facilities before leaving. What a bunch of dicks.
Calculating course
We'll
now,
make that
Commander.
trip.
Engines primed. All hands prepare for transition to thrust gravity.
Docking sequence commencing.
Chat is not working or he's not looking. No, I'm looking. I'm just jumping back and forth between the two. Well, good man, you're awesome. Well, thank you very much. Alright, first harvest. Dr. Murata arrives in the briefing, her arms full of succulent red orbs. Look, the first harvest from the hydroponics garden. God, we installed that ages ago, and we're only getting this one now. Are those tomatoes? Darius asks. She tosses him one and he bites into it and then sighs with satisfaction as he wipes the juice off his chin. They are. Tomatoes, strawberries, watermelon, squash, basil, and that's just the early harvest. With studied nonchalance, Samaya snatches her own tomato from Farah's arms. The crew will be thrilled. Commander, how do you want to share the news? It's only 15,000. Throw a garden party. Morale increase +2. I lose 15 grand, which is irrelevant. I spend more than that in ammunition on one mech. This company gains +3 medical point boost for 30 days. Beautiful. That's an easy one. That's a gimme. Gonna work while I play Hunter Call of the Wild a bit. I should install that on at some point. I've got it. Mags, mod Vox, you wankstain. I gotta do some bunnings quickly. Alright, I will see about doing that while we are transferring. Where is Vox? No, I don't want to report him.
We've arrived at our destination, Commander.
If anyone wants coffee, I've got a fresh pot blowing on the
There we
floor
go. That's how
now.
you do it. Sorry, just had to work out how to do that one. There you go, Vox. You're a mod now. Forgot to delete the mention. My bad. Okay, that's sorted out, I think. Alright, we've arrived at Planet. So first things first, let's visit the store and see exactly what's floating around. We've got a bit of money to burn now. So we have 2 standard ARM mods, and that's it. That's the whole market. So that's rather boring. Contracts. What have we got here that we could particularly do?
Dr. Rod, you're really doing a bang-up job on ship repairs.
I wouldn't trust me either, to be honest. Yeah, Vox is getting modded because Vox is a mod on my Discord as well. If there's any damage he's going to do. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sint. I'll tell you what. Tell you what. There you go. You feel better now? There you go. You're modded too. Well. Yeah, we've really pissed off Marik. We've really pissed off Marik. Yeah, they're not talking to us anymore. Looks like I'm going to have to go find some smaller Marik missions and rebuild that up. We got an Atlas, but it cost us all of our reputation. Target acquisition. Luna. Yeah, it's nothing there that I want to do. So where are we at for Statless? 8 days left on the Atlas. And 8 days until the financial report is due. That's alright, I don't mind. We will, we're going to probably have to go to a lower difficulty set of worlds. Just so we can pick up one that has a lower rep requirement, so we can actually try and get our Marik rep back up. Arn might work. It's only 9 days. It's 3 skulls. Lush forest world teems with diverse insect and plant life. Almost all this life, however, is highly toxic to humans. Theocratic government has strict laws against entering the forest without protective gear. Agriculture, aquaculture, chemicals, medium gravity planet, moderate population. planet-wide forest, primitive simulation, civilization, and tropical world. Alright, we'll make that jump.
Roger that, Commander.
We'll
Course
make that
plotted.
jump.
Calculating escape velocity.
See what's there. There might be something, there might be nothing. Worst comes to worst, I at least achieved one of my goals. I've got the Atlas now, so
All hands.
if we have to, we can go back on to the mainline story missions. Or at least we'll do that in the next stream. I don't think we'll do that now. And jump. So back to the discussion with MechWarrior 5. Like this is another thing. Battletech came out before MechWarrior 5, and you can see that MechWarrior 5 tried to copy some of this into the game.
Job's done, Commander.
Yet despite it only being done a year before MechWarrior 5 came out, they failed to actually get it. The transport side of things and the time management side of things in Battletech is fantastic. This is incredibly well done. This is a minigame all to itself, just managing everything and making it all work. Somehow, despite having this as a blueprint and trying to copy it, MechWarrior 5 still managed to miss doing it. And this is all they had to do, is this. This works really well. You've got your travel time sorted out. It works out how long it takes to repair stuff. You know, your money management side. They even mess this. I would argue I'd actually like this to be a little bit more complex. But, yeah. Mech 5 just missed the party on that one too. Alright, so 2 days to financial report and the Atlas is now complete. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Hulk. Where did I put the Hulk? Marauder. There's the Hulk. Alright. The Banshee did not do well in that last mission, so we're going to yank out a couple of key components. Well, we're going to lick out just that one arm mod, apparently. Ah, of course. When it lost the last mission, it had its entire side chewed out. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, we will confirm, remove the component. It's going to take 0 days. It cost me 2,000. That's
I
fine.
wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
And now we will throw the Banshee in storage for sale, because it is a terrible mech otherwise. Now, refit the Atlas. Equipment, we want the plus arm mods. That gets us to 99. So that's plus 20 melee damage, plus 40 melee damage with stability bonus damage. Which means in a melee fight, base damage is 100, chassis quirk is 40. Alright, so we do 250 death from above damage if we had jump jets, which we don't. Our standard damage for melee should be 160 damage per shot. To put that into comparison, that's 120 damage from an AC 20 with a double plus bonus. So in melee, this thing's gonna hurt a lot. Now while we're at it, we'll want to yank that, grab that cockpit mod and jam that in there. That leaves us with one. Well, if we're going to be setting up to do melee, this is one of those odd times when actually having small lasers might help, because they only fire whenever you do a melee attack or you get to within melee range. So this will give us 2 additional beam attacks that we can pull off while doing melee for additional damage. So, not really ideally what I would go for. There's a couple of components here I'd like to swap around, but this will do for a start. An Atlas with its armor completely maxed out and increased heat efficiency, all at the cost of stripping from an LRM-20 down to twin SRM-6s with almost all of its weapons upgraded. That should work.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
Alright, so that is going to take 3 days, and we are going to be 3 days until we arrive on planet. So that works out nicely. Plans for the Hulk? Well, the Hulk was tested. The Hulk got 2 good hits in. It did an incredible death from above, and then it did a punch that basically caught a mech on its own. That was really impressive. and then it promptly got torn apart by multiple enemy snipers and couldn't do anything about it. So the Banshee was never a good mech anyway. It was built as a meme. It was funny. It almost cost me my SLDF Highlander. It definitely cost me one double heatsink. I won't be doing that twice. Now we'll leave that as is. Alright, so next financial report is 30 days out, and we arrive on planet in 24 hours.
We've entered orbit, Commander.
So yeah, for the moment, the Hulk is just going to get sold.
That work order you submitted is complete.
Nearly got the pilot
Looks like
driving
we've
it
arrived,
killed
Commander.
too. Alright, visit the store. Ooh, we have mechs here. That's alright. The Atlas that I just put those arm mods into, even without being kitted out like the Banshee was to be a pure melee mech, is almost matching it on damage, for melee damage. The Atlas, with all of its weapons on board, is still going to be able to hit as hard as that thing does. So, it's still going to be impressive when I punch something. We have parts for a Banshee, Commando, Javelin, Marauder, and Quick Draw. Nothing there that's really useful. We do have a plus LRM-20. I'll buy that just because I don't have an upgraded
New weapon
LRM-20.
systems available.
Infernos. Inferno racks are tailored launchers that fire missiles containing napalm-like substance that coats their target in gel, which burns for a short period. Basically missile-launched flamers. I don't think I've got one. It's only 121,000. I don't have one in my lineup, so we'll just grab
New
one.
weapon systems available.
And nothing else really. So we'll buy 2 of them.
New weapon systems available.
I'm seeing a huge energy surge in the mech bay. Everything okay in there?
LBX-20 ammunition. I will grab
New equipment
a
available.
couple of piles of that while I'm here.
New equipment available.
Just because that's pretty hard to come by. No AC-20. Equipment-wise, we do have mortars. Single-use artillery pieces that can be mounted to the side torso of any mech, functioning like a massive grenade when fired. Mortars can deal substantial damage to all units within a targeted area. Only a single artillery piece can be mounted to any mech. Yeah, these are awesome, but they're 7 tons and require 4 shots, and once they're fired off, they're fired off. Alright, so we'll sell the Cicada and sell the Banshee. That gets our money back up to 7.3 where it was before, which is good. Okay. Now, contracts. What are we going to do? Come on, load up. There we go. Alright, so we actually have some missions for Marik for a start, which is good because we need to get our rep back up with them. Titan attack, defend base, Badlands. We have an urgent assignment. We'd like your assistance with Commander. We have a secret listening post here in Hyberus, but we just learned the local government agents discovered the base's location. We need time to transmit all the data we've gathered to a dropship in orbit, but they're already advancing on the facility. Worse, we're detecting agent signature from an assault class mech closing on the base's location. Ooh. We need you to drop immediately and protect that base until we can get the data transmitted. Alright, I normally don't go for defend base missions all that much, but if there is an assault mech there... Free Worlds League, Weakest Link, Assassinate, Desert, 3 Skulls, member of the local government chain of command in Hyberus has been troubling us. We need some irksome operative eliminated. American intelligence operatives have located the target's position. Yeah, okay. And clandestine research, capture base lowlands. We've actually got a couple of options here. Now, these are all relatively low difficulty missions, but that one there... It's not going to be a 100-tonner. And it's probably not going to be a good assault mech. It's likely going to be 80, maybe 90 tons. Possibly something like an awesome. Could be an awesome. It's only a 3-skull mission. But we'll do it. And we'll see what we can recover as extra out of it. So we're going to go 523. So it means we can nearly take 2 mechs off the battlefield. 1 complete mech and then 2 out of 3 parts for a second. Now, this we're going to make some adjustments to. We will... I really should be starting to train the low-level pilots a little. But I won't for this mission because we know there's going to be an assault mech on the field. So, of course, I'm going to bring 3 assault mechs and the Marauder Sniper. Because we need to test it. Alright, so Marauder is in play, Medusa is in that, Archangel can drive our new Highlander, Decker can drive our old SLDF Highlander, and we have our Atlas 7. Yep, that'll work. I will go with that.
Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
God, it's so nice to see the Atlas down there. I said, now I've just got to find 3 more of them, and then I'll be happy. It's not a huge ask, just 3 Atlases. Actually, quick question to chat. Is the stream still running at the moment? Because I've got a network error listed on this end, so I can't see. Stream is running? Yes? No? Yes? Let me know in chat, please. Or am I talking to myself like a real idiot here at the moment? I can't tell. It's still up? Okay, so yeah, it's an error on my end. It's alright, it's probably just my net, you know, being a bit fucky. That's fine.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, you're picking up an assault mech they said would be here. No, wait, there it is. Shit, that's big. How the hell are we supposed to keep that from blowing shit up? I have an Atlas. That's not going to be a problem. I have an Atlas and 2 Highlanders. Engage it and keep it. Darius, you're not going to like this. I'm detecting 2 assault engine signatures. Oh, really?
Who fights over a place like this?
I'm cool with this. Where? Alright, so we got to defend those buildings. Those buildings are really low on health. 3-skull mission, 2 assault mechs. That seems to be... I'm not seeing anything else. Just that. Alright, we'll leave that Highlander where it is. Hunter. I need you down over here, buddy. God, it's such a good looking mech. Love me Atlas. Decker. Get up into these trees. Actually, I need confirmation on exactly where they're coming from. For the moment, until I'm not... Yeah, no. I'm not going to move anybody around seriously until I know exactly where these mechs are. All I've got is an indicator that they should be over here. I don't have any actual sensor pickups of these mechs yet. And I'm going to keep the Marauder in the back row behind the Atlas until I actually have a direction for these mechs.
Taking a protective stance. I got a sensor trace here.
They saw the Atlas and hit the oh shit spawn 2 assault mechs. That would work. Alright, 50 ton. That is not the assault mech. That's 55 ton. That is not the assault mech. Those are just a couple of mediums. 40 tons. That is not the assault mech. So we have 3 targets, none of which are what we're after.
Standing by.
I'm just going to reserve you. I'm not necessarily going to tell you to brace. We're just going to reserve. You sit where you are. Let them have their moves. Oh, you poor Centurion. Oh, Kintaro as well. And they're starting in the buildings. Okay. Imagine running down the hill in a 50-ton or a 55-ton mech to go and blow up some buildings and what's supposed to be a bit of a easy run, and run into 2 Highlanders and an Atlas backed by a Marauder. Welcome back, Demi. And everybody seems to be concentrating on completing the mission objectives. That's nice.
Firing jump jets.
Kintaro.
Acknowledged.
Oh, looks like I missed with most of that, unfortunately. There was a good chance it was going to. It was terrain blocked slightly, so it was going to affect the ability to shoot. But that's... no, we are going to reserve the Medusa again. Medusa is only here for the assault mechs. Look at all the weapons. Oh, this is going to be half of our heat load in one shot, but I just want to see what happens. That
Enemy mech. Critical damage
hit
detected.
reasonably hard. Yep, that works.
Yes, Commander.
No, Medusa.
I'm here.
Archangel. Push the tree line, also move the sensors a little bit closer. 50-tonner as well. So none of these are what we're after.
Let's see how you like this. The Cobra strikes.
Right, that's Kintaro down. And since it's knocked down, we now get a free precision strike against it, which Medusa has been left up for. So Medusa can just step out.
Location confirmed.
And we have 31% chance to hit the head. We'll give it a shot anyway. Side torso destroyed. No hit on the head. That's unfortunate. But that's a Kintaro also pretty much rooted. So we don't have to be too concerned by that one anymore.
A friendly structure has been destroyed.
There's only one target structure left. If we lose it, we've blown the contract. You have to draw their fire somehow. I've got to admit, I'm impressed. They are keeping well on target. We have the Assassin. Centurion. 50-tonner. Where are these damn assault mechs? Now the heat loading here is going to be our issue. Let's pull the PPC. Let's go the large laser and the PPC. Fire 2. 35%.
Got it.
No, neither hit. Yeah, we really are going to have to
Receiving you.
spread this around a little bit more, I think. Alright, we've got hits on the Assassin. The Centurion.
Locked on target.
the assassin should now engage mechs rather than engaging the objective buildings. I hope. So all we've got to do is hit the second Centurion with the Atlas, and that should keep everybody tied up. I could melee the Kintaro. I think it would be better to put a shot into the Centurion just to make sure it stays focused. This is actually really good. I can alpha strike twice in a row with, you know, everything activated on an Atlas on a desert world with a high temperature, and I can get 2 out before I hit the hair. As I choke over my words here, hit the heat threshold.
Engaging target.
This is actually really good. It would be better if I had double hits.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yeah, that was just Atlas things.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, you can melee that assassin.
Moving to position.
Left arm destroyed.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
These will be the assault mechs. Okay. Looks like the assault mechs may have just arrived.
Ready for orders.
Producer, you need to cool down and spin
Roger.
so your sensors are facing down this way. I want to know what just come in and landed. And you can brace for the turn to drop your temperature. Whoa, we've got shots coming from the north too. Like, this
Standing
is a problem.
by.
Oh, we can DFA the Kintaro. No, we won't though. That'll be unnecessary damage in the legs. Let's hit the assassin. Gore's rifle off for this round. We might need to save that.
Roger that. Reporting critical hit.
Besides, I need something for the Atlas to punch for one round just to cool it off. And second volley of missiles from the north. Alright, so there's 2 mechs north of us
Orders?
that we haven't even detected yet. That's not great.
I'm going.
Probably kill the assassin, take it out of play.
Tango down.
Hunter can melee the Kintaro, which will end it without question.
Engaging physical attack.
Okay, that's Kintaro out. That should be a turn with the Atlas on cooldown.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yeah, we probably need to find double heat sinks for the Atlas. Now, back from lunch, do you approve of the Atlas? I always approve of the Atlas. The thing with the Atlas is, it doesn't have a bad variant. It doesn't matter what version you happen to get. They're all devastatingly good.
Receiving you.
I do need to find out what the hell is north of us, though.
Move order received.
Hoping that's not the assault mechs hidden out here somewhere. Alright, whatever it is, they're attacking from long range. So yeah, we have 2 sets of missiles coming in from the north, and we do not have a target on sensors from the north at all. Also curious on how they're actually hitting the hitting the buildings if they don't have anything that can spot.
Yes, Commander.
Unless it's these guys. Yeah, no, it's probably these guys that are spotting. So we're going to destroy these guys. And that'll solve that problem. Alright, Gauss rifle back on. Maximum damage to the Centurion. Actually, what's your precision strike rating like? Oh, 18. Well, we'll give it a shot.
On it. Target's taken a critical hit.
Well, we didn't take the head off, but it definitely felt us. Alright, now, I have choices to make. I want to start getting Hunter moving down this way, just in case whatever came in and landed down here before was one of these assaults. I need more information. I need to know where these mechs are. There's 2 to the north, and we had a dropship land to the south.
Waiting for orders. Rolling.
Alright, Archangel, you can finish off the Centurion, I think. Oh, that's going to put us over the heat threshold. Let's take the LRMs out for a start. And let's pull the Meade laser out.
Feel my wrath.
There we go. Okay. So that should stop the
Enemy
threats to
down.
the buildings from the south. And that frees us up frees up all of our mechs to split north and south on these 2 passes to try and work out where the rest of these guys are. I'm really liking Lyrian Commonwealth and House Steiner. Yeah, Steiner is fantastic. Steiner and Marik are my two factions in the Battletech universe. Funnily enough, they don't always get along. Actually, they regularly don't get along, but they're both great. Alright, we have a contact. Where? There. Alright, so we have a 90-tonner. So there's one of our assaults. And it's gone uphill. That's actually a real problem because we can't get the Atlas up there. It's got no jump jets. So, Decker, guess what? You just got a job. You're going to go and jump up onto... Actually, what's faster? How far? Yeah, that's faster. Jumps faster. Alright, we're going to jump you here.
Affirmative.
And then next turn, we are going to get you up onto this section to intercept the 90-tonner. And I'm going to turn Hunter around to go north. Medusa, I need to get into a sniping position, so that is probably going to be the best one. And we will start keeping Archangel going. Get Archangel north to intercept whatever is coming in from that direction. And that'll give him a couple of rounds to cool off. Might be another Highlander. It's entirely possible it could be another Highlander. Although I'm not expecting it to be a good mech. This is only a 3-skull mission and it's got 2 assaults on it. If it was really good assaults, you wouldn't be able to complete this at correct difficulty. Although, again, Battletech occasionally does throw a wrench in the works when it comes to the difficulty levels, and you'll get missions that are anywhere up to a skull and a half higher in difficulty than they should be. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Just going to reserve.
I copy.
Alright.
What's up, boss? Engaging jump jets.
Dude. It's going to take one more turn to intercept the 90-tonner. On the upside, we can actually see what it is. Because I can't do anything else with Decker for the moment, so we might as well use his sensor lock ability.
Got a lock.
Cyclops! It is a Cyclops. With a tactician pilot. Not sure.
Damage
I
minimal.
don't think I've got a Cyclops. I might have to do something about that.
Waiting for orders.
Precision strike. Head, all weapons in play.
Taking the shot.
There we go. Now I've got a Cyclops.
Tango down.
One assault mech down. God, I love that.
Hey, wait
Marauder.
your command. Full throttle.
Yeah, I got a king crab at a 3.5 skull battle. Yeah, it does happen. Oh. There are very few bad 100-ton mechs. That is a 100-ton mech. Come on. King Crab or Atlas. King Crab or Atlas. Come on. Don't be another Annihilator.
Aye, aye.
Medusa. Yeah, I'm going to want you to... yeah, sprint to about there and hold.
Roger.
Cool down. You got more shots to do yet. Oh, if it's a King Crab or an Atlas, it doesn't matter which one, I will
Waiting
be
for orders.
really happy. Yeah, Decker, you really don't need to go up there anymore. You can, like, jump over here somewhere.
I copy.
In fact, you might be able to end the mystery. Sensor lock, 100-tonner.
Sensors locked
King
on.
Crab. This is the second time I have seen a King Crab in Battletech. Alright, let's get ourselves a King Crab.
Damage is minor, Commander.
I'm almost concerned. I don't want it to destroy the buildings though, because that's a mission fail and we can't afford that. Sprint the Atlas into position.
Full throttle.
I'm kind of stunned that we've got a three skull mission and we've got a King Crab. A King Crab and a Cyclops.
Thy will be done.
Right. So I don't want to mess this thing's armor up too much. Just to do an LRM-20 volley.
Acknowledge.
Just to make sure it's engaged. I don't want it shooting mission objectives.
Orders.
Medusa. Actually, you... I'm going to do a bit of a risk.
Heading out.
Now, precision strike. Head. This gives me the option of putting all the weapons into play, including the mead lasers. Pardon me.
I copy.
One shot head. And did not record a
Good to
head
go.
hit.
Roger.
Now Decker has 18. All weapon systems under the head.
Confirmed.
Head destroyed. Oh, it's damage. Decker, you fucking legend.
That's a kill.
I have a King Crab. The area has been cleared. Darius has given me the green light to land immediately. Hold position. The mediums were more difficult to take care of than the two assaults.
Mission successful.
Huh. Contract payment increased by 10%. I don't care. No damage to any of our mechs at all. King Crab. King Crab. And King Crab. Thank you very much. Now, while we're at it, we're also going to take the two of the 3 Cyclops components. It is the HQ variant of the Cyclops, so it's the command Cyclops as well. Oh, nice. This has been a really good stream, guys. Alright, now if we're really, really, really lucky here, on the random roll, we'll get the extra Cyclops component, and we'll get one component either of the Kintaro or the Centurion, because that means we can actually pay the bills here. But so far, just on those 5 components there before the random roll, 31 million credits worth in a 3-skull mission. I'm very happy right now. This has worked out well. All right, what did we get? We got 1 part. We got 2 parts of the Centurion. We did not get the extra Cyclops component, unfortunately, but I'm not too concerned about that. We did get the Kintaro component, though. Alright, so we've got 2 mechs to sell. We've got 1 mech fully recovered in the King Crab, and all I have to do is find 1 part of the Cyclops HQ, and I can finish that off. 38,176,666 credits worth of salvage. And Marik likes us again. So, very nice. That works. That works.
That mech you wanted is back on.
Mech chassis is complete. King Crab, KGC0000, one of the most heavily armed and armored mechs ever constructed. The King Crab 0000 is capable of massive burst damage. A pair of heavy close-range autocannons form its primary weaponry, backed up by range weaponry to fire as it closes distance.
That mech you asked for.
Centurion, yep, and Kintaro, yep. We don't care about those. Okay, so Mech Bay. Atlas, King Crab, and 2 Highlanders. One of them SLDF. This is getting to be a pretty good lineup. We're going to put the Kintaro in the hangar because, yeah, it's just going to be sold. We're going to put the Centurion in the hangar because it's going to be sold. I'm really going to have to start putting some of these other mechs away now because we're never going to use them again. We can't quite field a full 400-ton Lance yet. But there it is. There is the King Crab. Oh, that is pretty. Actually, that looks pretty good in the color scheme we've got here too, with the red highlights all over it. Alright, refit. What do we got? So 2 AC-20s in the arms. LRM 15, large laser. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do some reconfiguring of this one. Heat efficiency isn't particularly great, and there is definitely room to have its armor increased, especially when we've got 310. This thing can potentially be more heavily armored than an Atlas. It can actually outdo the Atlas on armor. So we're definitely going to have to swap some weapons around here. I don't think I've got any spare Gauss rifles. No Gauss rifles at this time. So we need to look around for some of those. Anyways, guys, I'm actually going to bring this one up to a bit of an end now. It is now 1:55 p.m, so I'm going to have some jobs to do around the house. I'm not looking forward to it, I'll be perfectly honest. My neck is killing me. Sorry, I think we only got 2 battles in on this one, so I think I've been a little bit talkative on this one. But I hope everybody has been enjoying the stream, and I hope everybody enjoyed the actual time that we've been streaming as well. As I said, the late nights into 3 and 4 a.m. are getting in touch much for me at the moment, so I'm going to try and start streaming earlier in the morning, anywhere between 6 a.m. my time through to probably 10 a.m. on the starts. So I hope that works for everybody, but that's just because I got to start getting this stuff done in the day. I really do. Anyways, guys, I'm going to bring this one to a close here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very, very much for watching as always. Sorry to anybody who commented that I didn't have a chance to respond to, but I will be trying to get the streams up. And also apologies for having like a week without actually getting any streams up as well. My net connection has been funky with some of the storms that have been going on around here. It's been pretty rough, so hopefully we will be able to get back to regularly scheduled streams. Next video to go up on the MagzTV YouTube channel will be the next part of MechWarrior 4 playthrough, and that will be up on Friday. So that should be, I'm hoping to have that finished and edited and completed by tonight. Anyways, guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, take care.